Now you can see the damage flexing can cause to your nails. You see it by the pressure. See how my area turns white? That's where the stress is happening. Hey there and welcome back, and if you are new here, welcome. My name is Paola of paolaponcenails.com, your source for all things premium soft gels and entrepreneurship in the nail industry. If this sounds like a niche you'd like to continue growing in, then at the end of this video, do consider subscribing to this channel and our weekly newsletter. Let's begin. Hi all, welcome to another episode. So today I want to talk about when a nail hates you. And what I mean by that is when you can wear gorgeously for a very long time all of your nails, including the one that hates you currently, and then once in a while it just acts up on you. Like it just keeps lifting, it keeps breaking, whatever it may be. Now, this also happens to coincide with a message that I received from a student a little while ago, and she was like, Paola, what do I do when my nails just keep lifting? And me and my friend, we have very thin, brittle nails. Now, all of my clients, surprisingly, are doing well, at least 3+ weeks of wear, even though I'm fairly new, so I'm very, pleased with that. But me and my friend, it just doesn't work out. Then it's probably the behavior. As much as you kind of want to be like, oh no, I'm so good with my nails. I wear gloves most of the time for dishes, but I do a lot with my hands, a lot. And I think one of the things that I notice that I do the most is type with this finger, which is why you'll see it in a moment. It's no surprise that it's damaged. Now, my nail didn't pop off, it just lifted. And I cut it because I didn't want to deal with it, or it bent in kind of funky, funny, eerie ways. So yeah, I thought I'd talk to you about how we can fix it, or the steps that we can take to fix it. All right, let's dive in. Okay, so here's our casualty. As you can see, it looks quite damaged. And the damage didn't have to do with me necessarily peeling this nail. The damage had to do with this nail already being compromised from other times where the nail was flexing. Now, I've already confessed to what I think the culprit is, and I think that I find myself using this nail for typing more than I need to. Okay, I just caught myself, like, I think yesterday, and I was like, oh, yeah. So what is happening when you are typing with that nail, or you're like me and you type like this? So you're bending the nail forward. Well, the nail's trying to lift here, and you're also bending this stress area here. The stress area is the area before the smile line, okay? As you can see, again, we're playing detective here. As you can see, the damage is primarily here. You see my nail broke there. You see a little bit of tear there, probably from the nails trying to separate every time I'm putting pressure on it. And my nails work beautifully for anywhere from, more than 3 weeks. Hardly ever do I have a set last me 3 weeks. They last me like whenever I want to take them off. So 4, 5, 6 weeks. So this one just gave out on me, probably from prior stress. And I did have a break that I probably did a bad job about fixing too, because it was kind of late at night when I was doing my nails. But either way, so I want to take you through some steps of what I would do to help my client or help myself make that one nail that hates me love me, or at least get along with me for the next. Okay, so this nail is really compromised. You really have to get strategic about what you're gonna do next to it, because it probably is going to continue to lift. So number one, analyze it. We said that the problem seems to be here in the stress area, so I'm definitely using this nail for too much. If I was just laying there not doing anything with my nails, there would not be that much damage here, because I wouldn't be doing anything. I wouldn't be pressing on that nail. So clearly the evidence shows that I am bending this nail too much. Whether I remember it or not, it doesn't matter. The nail tells us that there's been a lot of stress here, enough to start breaking. So because this nail is weak, it's gonna need some help going forward. Next thing to do would be to probably increase just a little bit the prep on the nail. So what I mean by that is that rather than buffing, now we want to etch the nail, and that just means taking up the grid a bit with a 180 grit board file, and that's what I was doing. You will create a little bit of texture after you've done your cuticle work, and when you prep nails, you should never take off any layers of the nail. Okay, so yes, there's going to be a little bit of scratch marks and all of that, but if you go back and forth, and this is one of the reasons why I don't always love to prep with a spinning bit, whether it's a sanding band or a diamond bit, because I know that's going to remove layers after even one pass, right? So the best thing to do is just go up and down on your nail, create a little bit of texture, or the client's nail, after you've done your prep, right? And you see already there's texture there. So that's going to give your gel product something to hold on to, like this versus maybe like this. Now, our potted soft gel systems always hold on like this. They're very gentle on the nail, but this nail needs a lot of help. It's weak. It can't do it on its own right now. Or maybe you don't want to etch the nail, right, with a more gritty file. What you can do is use a bonder. Actually, I don't think I have any bonder, so all of my nails are always applied without bonder because I use potted soft gel systems that don't require a bonder or a pH dehydrator. So if you have that, you can avoid the etching and then just use the bonder. For me, I'm going to be doing etching. If you don't have a bonder, but you still want a layer of something to kind of hold the next layer of gel a little bit better, take your thinnest base coat and scrub it into the nail. Okay, and use that as your bonder solution. So if you're in the Cocoas line, you can use Mixed Stick Base. If you are with the Leaf Gel line, you can use Extreme Clear. If you're using Vetro, you can use Max Base. Those are the products that we use on this channel primarily. Okay, so number 1, analyze. Number 2, etch versus buff. And number 3, add bonder, and you can replace the bonder. Instead of etching, you can do bonder, or you can do both. But what I don't like about opening up the nail like this, because that's what you've done when you've etched it, is to then let a liquid seep in there, like a chemical, like a bonder, even though it's a non-acid bonder. It's just going to dehydrate the nail more, make it more hard, more prone to breaking and all of that. And when something is hard, it doesn't mean it's stronger, because, for example, this case here, this is an acrylic case. It's hard, but it's also prone to breaking because this type of acrylic plastic doesn't have shock absorbency. So keep that in mind. Versus like a plastic like silicone like this does not crack. And this is what our potted soft gel typically is. It's like more like that, okay? Like, except for the Cocoas products, they're a little bit more hard, kind of like this. They're like a blend. That's why they're called semi-hard products, even though they are still soak off, okay? So that's a little bit more advanced, but yes, so those are the bases that you can use to kind of use as bonder before your base layer. The next thing you would do would be to extend the nail. So number 1, analyze the nail. Number 2, trim it so it stops flexing in that area. Number 3, etch it. Number 4, add bonder, or you can do both etch and bond. But remember that the nail, when you etch it, becomes more porous, so it's going to absorb that liquidy bonder into the nail, which is going to cause more dehydration, and you're going to have this issue more frequent. Now, the 5th thing, and what I'm going to do today, is to extend the nail. Now, extending a damaged nail like this is kind of tricky because this nail is basically saying, hey, I'm out for the count. You can't count on my keratin to help you with holding on to that nail. Or that extension is going to have to do most of the work. The product is going to have to help here. Okay, so what I'm going to be doing today is something that I actually don't do very often, and that is to use a full coverage tip. Now, personally, for myself, and if I had clients, I don't know, maybe I would do them, but I don't like full coverage tips on me at all. Like, I'm not a picker, and these are the only things that make me pick my nails off, okay? Because if I start seeing something, then I know it's just gonna be like a tear that's gonna keep going, and so I'm gonna pick. So I'm going to be using a full coverage tip, and the reason why I decided to go with a full coverage tip as opposed to a freeform extension, which would be my second alternative, is because any bit of this nail is not healthy. Pretty much that's the answer. This nail is not healthy, and so if I put a little extension on there, there's still going to be that possibility of me accidentally flexing it. And because it's so damaged, then with a few flexes, I'm probably gonna lift that extension. Okay, because that's kind of what happened with this nail. This nail was already compromised. With a few flexes, it was like, all right, goodbye. With this is going to pretty much carry the burden of the structure, and these are typically already structured themselves, so everything's there. I just need to adhere it to my nail, and when it bends, the whole, which I'm gonna be a good girl, I'm not gonna be using this for typing, pinky promise, I'm on camera here making this promise with you. Okay, so should this nail flex, it's not going to flex right here predominantly. It's gonna pretty much flex the entire nail, the whole strength of the nail there. Okay, and at the same time though, my nail won't be compromised because the whole thing is flexing. It's not just my nail trying to hold on to an extension and continuously flexing now here. Okay, now you can see the damage flexing can cause to your nails. You see it by the pressure. See how my area turns white? That's where the stress is happening when that nail constantly flexes. So because this nail was longer, it was turning white here, which is, again, the evidence supports that claim there. So that's what I'm going to be doing, and that's what I recommend that you do for a nail that's giving you all of that trouble. All right, so I hope you now know what to do with a nail that just hates you. After you analyze it, you want to decide if you're going to trim or shorten it. And then after that, you're gonna etch it and then bond it, or etch or bond. And then number 5, if you or your client want to maintain the length, then go ahead and extend it. And if the nail is highly compromised like this nail, then go ahead and apply a full coverage tip for it. I'll link a video here that I've done before on full coverage tips. Now, if this nail was healthier, you can do a freeform extension, which is my preferred method of extensions, or you can do also a half plastic tip, which I actually enjoy those too. But this is like a brace. Like in a brace, if you broke a finger, right? Like, or any kind of bone, this is going to just ensure that the bone, whatever bone you break, right? When you have a brace, that you don't flex it at the joints or cause any more stress on it, right? That's exactly what the full coverage tip is going to do. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it enlightened you and helped you with a client that has perpetual lifting on one particular nail. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Drop me a comment below. Let me know if it helped, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now. Thank you for watching. If you loved today's video, can you do me a favor and give it a thumbs up to boost it up in the algorithm so that I may help more people? And if you need a little more direction in your nail career, I want to encourage you to join my free masterclass using the link in the description box below. It is available for you to watch immediately for free right now after signing up. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye for now.